Welcome to Love Your Love Muscle, our weekly or bi-weekly podcast session about heart-based living, heart-focused meditation, etc. Sometimes we invite guests as well that want to talk about what they burn for, what their heart is beating for. But today I want to talk about being the change. So being a change, what that's all about? Well, actually, it's in the context of dealing with war, because there's so much going on right now, isn't it? I mean, we had the war in the Ukraine, it's still going on, but now all the focus is on what's happening between Israel and the Palestinians in Gaza. Uh, Everything going around there, is it going to escalate even more? And as you might have noticed as well as I did, there's a lot of people going online now in social media talking about it, sending out their worries, their thoughts. They're worried about sometimes their family that is there, and they're choosing a side, for example, and it's all logical. It's all emotions and everything like that. But maybe if you're not that involved but still feeling anxious or worried or thinking what's going on with the world, what's happening around us, are we such a disgrace? Why is Israel doing this? Why is this happening in Palestine? Why? What is behind everything that's happening in Ukraine? Is it really just Russia being the aggressor, or is there more behind it? Um, so many things that we, if you're not living in those countries, can't really grasp as well. And even if you are living in such a country, maybe you don't even have the full picture either, because that's been being withheld from you by your government, for example. Um, so many things going on. Is there anything you can trust? Well, there's one thing you can trust, and that's your heart. How do you feel about it? So if you're anxious about war, what's going on, what should I do? How can I help? Go into your heart space. One thing I think is important you shouldn't do is, and unfortunately I see many people doing that, is choosing sides, pointing fingers, uh, even to the point where we're going to discriminate people. I mean, when the war in Ukraine broke out, what happened then? Well, in other countries where Russians were living, they got stones thrown through their kitchen windows, for example. And what is the problem here? Well, what can those Russians abroad do about what's happening in the Ukraine? Maybe they haven't even voted for the current regime in Russia. Maybe they didn't even vote for the regime in Ukraine. So, and the same in Israel, the same in Palestine. Different situations, different sides of the world, but still, I mean, choosing sides, unless you're really sure what's going on, try to be careful with that. What can you do? I will say always be the change. Live the way you want to others to live with you. Which means, for example, don't choose sides, show compassion. Try to understand both sides of the story. In a war, when you think about it, war is just a failing of humanity, isn't it? We're not human anymore. I mean, how many animal species in the world really attack each other, attack their own kind, and kill their own kind? There are not many animal species doing that in the world. Why do we do it? When you think about it, it's just a failing of humanity. It's a failing of government. It's a failing of people who are either profiting from it or very desperate, which is seldom, but mostly it's profiting. Um, and yeah, I mean, they're only losers. The people that lose are the people like you and me, living everyday life, having a family, going to work, earn some money and live from that. those are the people that suffer the most on both sides, basically. Um, and especially, of course, when you are the target where your houses around you and your own house gets damaged and etc. When you have to flee your country, those are the biggest suffer. They suffer the most, those people. And instead of blaming them or reacting towards them, try to show compassion for both sides. And if you find that difficult to understand, if you start meditating, if you just begin with meditation, you will find that you often draw these conclusions. How spiritual guru-like they may sound, when it comes to going into yourself, analyzing a situation, thinking about situation, letting your mind rest on it, and also listening to your heart about your feelings. How do I feel about certain things? Most people, I don't know any other people actually that have come to different conclusions, but most of them, they will come to the conclusion that a war is just failing of humanity and there's no solution to it other than there's just being the change. How do I want other people to live together with me? How do I want to live with them? So I would say let's just try that, shall we? Let's do a guided meditation where we go into ourselves and listen to our heart and just feel what we feel about current situations when it comes to war. It's going to be a little silent meditation where you can draw your own conclusions, and we're also going to set a little intention just for people to be able to collaborate with each other no matter what. To, for example, don't look at social media that often, especially not going to other media outlets as well that maybe just portray one side of the story. Uh, take everything with a healthy doses of skepticism, and whenever you read a newspaper article, let it soak into your heart. Let's practice soaking things into our heart and feel our way through this situation. And maybe you come to the conclusion that you want to help. Then please help both sides. Look around, can you donate some money to charity? People that go to war situations. I know some organizations that are associated with HeartMath Institute, or at least use the HeartMath techniques. They sometimes go to war zones to teach refugees and people that have these traumatic experiences, not only for war zones, but also earthquakes, for example, natural catastrophes, to help people deal with trauma. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you want to donate to such an organization, or maybe you want to join them and go out yourself and help people with trauma and help people deal with stress in such situations. Okay, let's get started. Just follow my lead. I'll guide you into this session. We're going to do some heart soaking and we're going to do a little intention. Wonderful. Find a comfortable position. Make sure you have good enough support. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Lower your shoulders, loosen your jaw, close your eyes. And on a nice deep inhale through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Let the day go. Settle down. Feel yourself getting centered. Just let everything go. Center yourself for a moment. Breathe normally. And then breathe a little slower and a little deeper. A little slower and a little deeper than usual. Feel yourself getting centered more and more. Now let's settle down into our heart space. So focus on your heart space. You can help just like what I'm doing right now, putting your hand on your chest, right there where your heart is. Just giving it extra focus to your heart space. Become more aware of your heart. And now imagine that you are breathing through your heart. Imagine breath going in and out of your chest area. Nice, calm, deep breaths. What this just is calming down the nervous system, creating a heart rate variability which is very coherent. This basically just balances our system, making us capable of doing wonderful things, not only with our own physiology, but also energy-wise with the world around us. Wonderful. If you during these silent moments, during this session, notice your mind wandering off, your thoughts are all over the place, it's fine, it's good that you notice it. Just get back to your breath again, breathing through your heart. Don't judge yourself. Okay. Now let's just tune in and ask yourself how you feel. How do you feel right now, knowing that there's a lot going on in the world today? There's a lot in the world that's going on, and maybe on top of things that are going on in your personal life as well. For a moment, listen to your heart and just notice how you feel about all that. And no feeling is forbidden. It's all okay. If you don't feel anything, it's okay. If you feel very sad, it's okay. If you feel anxious, it's okay. Just notice how you feel. Maybe you feel anger. Just recognize. Just recognize what the current state of the world is doing to you. And as you breathe through your heart, let that feeling, that issue, That thing you are having right now, that feeling you are having, just let it soak in that heart space. Let it rest there. And just listen. To soak that feeling, emotion into your heart space, inside your heart space. What comes up? Is it sadness or hopelessness because you don't have control over a situation? Are you anxious because maybe there's family, friends, loved ones in a bad situation right now in the war zone, for example? Maybe they're refugees. You're wondering if they are okay. Does it help feeling this way? Does it help clinging on to those feelings? Does it help being sad? Most likely not. Does it help being worried? Most likely not. And even if it doesn't help feeling the way you do right now about the situation in the world or the situation in your world, it doesn't mean you shouldn't feel that way. It might be a sign to do something about it. Can I stop worrying or turn that worry into something productive? Maybe you want to do something with that worry, with that sadness, with the anger. Something productive. Maybe you want to help someone, support an organization that's helping out. Or maybe you just want to live and radiate a feeling, an emotion that spreads peace, calm into the world. How do you want to be in the situation we are in right now as humanity? Do you want to worry? Do you want to feel sad? Or do you want to make the best out of it? Maybe you want to protect yourself by not reading the news so much. and rather focus on helping out a refugee, for example. Or just do something kind to your neighbor as a counteraction to countries not being nice to their neighbors. So as you breathe through your heart, imagine, visualize a situation where you turn the sadness, worry, or maybe anger, or anything else negative that you were feeling into something productive, something positive. It could be so simple as just saying to yourself, tomorrow I'm going to smile to someone on the bus. Just a friendly smile. Maybe you want to donate clothes. Becoming the change you want to see in the world right now. So visualize whatever you want to visualize that is productive right now for you. That will help you and others. And not only visualize it, feel it as well. Be in that moment you want to be in. Feel the feeling. Maybe you feel empowered. Maybe you feel gratitude. Maybe you even feel joy helping out. Even if helping out just means smiling, radiating peace and happiness. Wonderful. And if your whole body is filled with that feeling, filled with those feelings and emotions, you feel you've become that change. Breathe through your heart and radiate it outwards into the world. Become that light. And know that even though all we read in the news, in the media is negative, crisis after crisis, people doing bad things to each other, know that it's just tiny percentage. The majority of the people, majority of humanity are just friendly, helpful, joyful, grateful people that just want the best for everyone, for themselves. Okay, now let it go and hold on to being that change. But just let the intention go, the feelings go, surrender it, to a field of intelligence. Beautiful. Now let's slowly get back. We can do that just by noticing the room you are in right now. Notice any sounds in the room you are in right now. Breathe normally. Slowly move your body back and forth from side to side. Maybe you want to wiggle with your fingers and toes, becoming more awake, more aware of the present moment. When you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Beautiful. Just notice how you feel right now. Do you feel more peace? Do you feel more calm? Hopefully you feel less of those negative feelings and emotions you had around our current situation in the world, or maybe your personal world, your personal situation, feeling a little bit more calm uh, in that space. And when I said that, well, even though we read a lot of negative things in the news, in social media, a lot of aggression, a lot of negativity, it really is just a small percentage of humanity acting in that way. And you can see that not only on the world scale, but also on smaller scales. And a good example is, for example, the company I work for. Uh, we're working in healthcare with healthcare, and we have a product that we deliver to municipalities and to hospitals. And even though the product is in use by thousands of people right now, and the majority is actually pretty content with it, is happy with it. They like what they're working with, and they are helped with it, and they express that as well, the gratitude and the joy of being able to use our product. There's a tiny hospital, it's one hospital that is basically uh, going into the media, spreading lots of negativity about our company, about what we deliver. Well, there are actually just a couple of hundred people, but it's the only thing when you open the newspapers here in the area and it's about our company, it's only the negative part. But there are thousands of people working with that product we deliver, and they're perfectly fine with it. But just those few hundred people, they can just scream out, and the media takes that on, they like that because that's what people want to read. They want to read the bad news, which is actually, in my opinion, no longer true, because many people are fed up with it. They want to see more productive news. What is being done about a negative situation? They don't want to hear only about the negative. They want to hear about, okay, what they are doing about it. Is there progress? But the media isn't there quite yet. And you see that with the war and all the negative things that are happening, climate crisis, etc. as well. It's only about the bad things that are happening, and very, very little about the people that are doing something about the bad things, that are making progress, that the bad things don't happen anymore. So make sure that you focus on the right side of the media, not on the wrong side of the media. So I have lots of tips about how you can read media. One thing I want to conclude with is, it's very important to stay up to date. Ignoring the world around you might not be a good solution. Hiding from reality might not be a good solution. But if you, for example, because we live in a digital age and we get so much information thrown at us, what I have on my devices is a news reader. It's an old application basically. There are many versions of it from different vendors. And you put in news feeds from different media outlets in that app. And when you scroll through them, you only see the headlines and a short caption about what the article is about. And that way it's not so much in your face and you can quickly scroll through things. And there are certain things that just pop out that grab your attention. And you will notice that the more you meditate, the more your attention is being drawn to things uh, that concern you more. And when you do these exercises like we did now, you will notice that you will be more concerned about the positive things, the productive things, and those will pop out automatically for you. Not by that program, but just your mind, your nervous system is focused and tuned in onto such things in the world, not the negative things so much anymore. You just read them and you're not going too much into detail. But some things pop out there, but are productive. So from the 100 articles that are all negative, that seem to be negative, maybe 10 of them you actually are going to read because those are the ones that grab your attention. Those are the ones that say, hey, there's something productive going on and there's something positive here. Let's read more about it. And that can create joy for you. That will create a more realistic view of the world as well, because you're focusing more on what actually is happening in the world. And it's not all negative. Okay? Enough talking, enough meditating for today. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you like these sessions. And again, if you want to join me, if you want to come online and want to talk to me about your project, what you are doing, what you are helping with, what are you helping other people with, what makes your heart beat extra strong, what will you pour your heart into? Contact me and we'll get you on the show and do a little interview with you and you can brag about all the things you do. All right, take good care everyone. I hope to see you back next time. Be safe. Namaste.